Hello, everybody. So today we are reading The Joyous Science by Friedrich Nietzsche. So we're gonna start with the first chapter, and that is there are five books within this book. So we're gonna start with the book one. Before that, there are some short poems. All right, so I'm gonna read all of them, and then we're gonna approach book one, and we're gonna start from there. So, in my knowledge of Friedrich Nietzsche's book has been very phenomenal in terms of joyful wisdom and many core concepts like Amor Fati, Übermensch, and enough. So I thought of giving this a read. So let's go on with the first chapter, the poems preluding the first chapter, the book one. Jest, Trick, and Revenge, prelude in German rhymes. Number one, invitation. Would you try this dish I offer? Later, it will taste much better, and later still, taste good enough. Should you want more of this porridge? Buckle down, screw up your courage, and try some of my older stuff. 2. My happiness. Since the quest now wearies me, I much prefer the grail. Since the winds all fought with me, these days I trim the sails. Third, undaunted. Where you stand, you must dig deep. Below you is the well, and let the superstitious shout that down there's only hell. Number 4, dialogue. A. I was sick and then got better. I don't even know my doctor. How could I forget all that? B. Only now do you recover. Health returns when you forget. 5. To the virtuous. Our virtues out to dash and so, like Homer's verse, should come and go. 6. Worldly wisdom. Don't stay on the solid ground. The peaks you should forswear. Gorgeous vistas are all found before you get up there. 7. Vedectum. Attracted by my style and voice, you would follow after me, walk your own path faithfully, and bit by bit become like me. 8. The third molting. My skin already bends and breaks from all the earth which I've devoured, and yet the snake within me craves more earth with every passing hour. On crooked trails, hungering, I creep between the rocks and turf, seeking what I'm seeking, food for snakes, delicious earth. That's profound. So now we're gonna go to the ninth one. That's my roses. My delight wants to delight you. Does my garden not invite you? Won't you take some roses with you? You must crouch twixt rocks and hedges, grasping at the thorny branches, often pricking fingertips. My delight, she loves her tricks. My delight would love to tease you. Won't you take some roses with you? Number 10. The scornful. I spill much of what I pour, and so you say I'm filled with scorn. And yet, well, whoever's cup's full will find that when he drinks, he spills, without despising wine the more. 11. The proverb speaks. Incisive, gentle, crude, redefined, familiar, foreign, pure and wild, a twist of sage and imbecile. All this I seek and claim as mine, to be at once dove, snake, and swings. 12. To a friend of light, lest your eyes be blinded and your mind prostrate, you should follow sunlight while you walk in shade. 13. For dancers, smooth ice is paradise for those whose dancing can suffice. 14. The brave and true sooner hold hostility than piece together amity. 15. Rust. There should be rust on a blade so keen, lest they all say that you're too green. 16. Upwards. What's the best way to the summit? Climb. Don't think much about it. 17. Maxim for the violent. Never ask, leave off displeading. Seize whatever's there for seizing. 18. Narrow souls. Narrow souls are audacious, good or bad. They scare, they scarce possess. I'm going to read it again. Narrow souls. Narrow souls are odious, good or bad. They scarce possess. 19. The involuntary seducer. He shot vain words into the air, and thereby fouled a maiden fair. 20th. Consider. Shared pain is not as hard to bear as lone pain. Do you take my dare? 21. Against arrogance. Self-inflation, ill-advised. You'll balk when the pinpricks are applied. 22. Man and woman. Ravish the woman, if that's what you feel. Men think like robbers, but women just steal. 23. Interpretation. My soul is my work, I will admit, but I myself cannot interpret it. If you climb up your own path, then you might my image carry with you to the light. I'm gonna read this one again. I really liked it. Pictures and facts highlighted as well. 23. Interpretation. My soul is in my work, I will admit, but I myself cannot interpret it. If you climb up your own path, then you might my image carry with you to the light. 24. Antidote to pessimism. You say that life's unsavory? My friend, renounce that ancient grievance. By ranting, raving endlessly, you break my heart and try my patience. Take a tip from me, my friend, and wisely follow the suggestion. Every morning, eat a toad. I'll bet that cures your indigestion. 25. Request. My grasp on others' mind is sure, but to myself I'm obscure. My eye is far close to me. I am not what I saw and see. For introspection, it might help to get more distance from myself, though not as distant as my foe or closest friend, for neither know me. Something halfway would be best. Can you guess what I request? 26. My hardness. I have to climb 100 stairs. I hear a voice cry in despair. Tread lightly. Am I made of stone? I have to climb 100 stairs, but no one would be tread upon. 27. The Wanderer. No path, abyss, isolation was straying your decision? Eyes ahead, and do not frown, for all is lost if you look down. 28. Consolation for beginners. Among the pigs a child is crawling, never rising to his feet. Listen to his endless bawling. When will he get up and stand? No, he won't admit defeat. Soon as the child will learn to dance, first he walks his 2 feet, but in the end walks on his hands. Wow, this is beautiful. 29. Planetary egoism. Were I not in empty space, a barrel ever turning, how could I endure to chase the hot sun without burning? 30th. The neighbor. My neighbor is too close to me. To height and distance banished, he may yet become a star to see. 31. Holy Mass. Let your happiness depress. Wrap yourself in wicked wit, in wicked dress. But in vain your eyes exhibit all your hidden holiness. 32. The unfree. A. Is he deceived in what he hears? What's that ringing in his ears? What struck him down and laid him low? B. If chains once all he did know, then chains are all he'll ever hear. 33. Recluse. How I detest to lead and to be led. I won't command, and nor will I obey. The only fearsome make others afraid. Only the frightened let themselves be led. I hate still more than the task of self-command. I love to play like beasts of sea and land. I love to lose myself for just a day, to sit and muse, to lead my thoughts astray. And when at length my home I yearn to see, I coax myself and then return to me. 34. Seneca. They scribble there inseparably, noble dread and folly, as if to premium scribere, the ende philosopher. Well, this is something I should have to read about and tell you guys more about it. 35. Ice. Yes, at times I make some ice. It helps me to digest. If you had all this to digest, you would love my eyes. 36. Early writings. All my wisdoms, A and O, resound from them. What I hear now doesn't sound my voice anymore, doesn't sound wise anymore. Perennial youth, ah, and oh, of suffering is all I hear. All my wisdoms, A and O, resounded from them. What I hear now doesn't sound wise anymore. Perennial youth, ah, and oh, of suffering is all I hear. 37. Caution. Sojourning in those parts is rather hard. If you have brains, you must be on your guard. First they adore you, then tear you to shreds. Devotees haven't a brain in their heads. 38. The pious speak. God loves us, and that's why He made us. We made God. The wits reply. What we should we not love what we have made? What we have made, we should hence deny. The devil's hoof that fought this place. God loves us, and that's why He made us. We made God. The wits reply. Should we not love what we have made? What we have made, we should hence deny. The devil's hoof that through displays. 39. In the summer. In fields by the sweat of our brows. They say we should eat our bread, in the fields you should not eat and plow. Or, so the physician said, with what are we still not endowed? The dog star, with its fiery sign, in the fields by the sweat of our brows. Tell us what we should drink of our wine. Tell us we should drink our wine. So let me read this again. 39. In the summer. In fields, by the sweat of our brows, they will see, they say we should eat our bread. This is, I need to read it again. In the summer, in fields by the sweat of our brows, they say we should eat our bread. In fields you should not eat and plow. Or so the physician said. With what are we still not endowed? The dog star, with its fiery sign, in fields by sweat of our brows, tells us we should drink our wine. 40th. Without envy. His unenvious eyes you all greatly admire, but he never soughs that to which you will aspire. His unenvious eyes you all greatly admire, but he never sought that to which you all aspire. His eagle eye seeks only that which is far. He does not see you. he sees only stars. 41. Heraclitism. All happiness on earth, my friends, only comes from struggle. Yes, to be a faithful friend, it takes the smoke of the battle. Only 1 in 3 are friends, brothers to their final breath, equals before enemies, free in facing death. Beautiful. 42. Principle of the too well mannered. Rather on one's tiptoes than crawling on our fours. Best to peep through the keyholes than gape at open doors. 43. Encouragement. Have you now set your sights on fame? To what I teach take heed. In due course you must waive all claim to honor if you would succeed. We'll read this again. Have you now set your sights on fame? To what I teach take heed. In due course you must waive all claim to honor if you would succeed. 44. The thorough. You call me a scholar. You're far too kind. I'm just heavy laden with many a pound. Tumbling downwards, I draw ever closer. But sooner or later, I do hit the ground. 45. Forever. I come today, it's opportune. Thinks one who wouldn't be leaving soon. What's it to him if they all prate? You come too soon, you come too late. 46. Judgments of the weary. Against the sun they remonstrate, and love trees only for their shade. 47. Sunset. He sinks, he falls, they ridicule. In the truth he condescends you to you. Overjoyed, he sought his doom. Overbright, he peered your plume. Let me just read this one again. The sunset. It talks about he sinks, he falls. They ridicule. In truth, he condescends to you. Overjoyed, he sought his doom. Overbright, he peered your gloom. 48. Against laws. From now on, around my neck, a little clock hangs by the thread. The sun and stars stop in their tracks. No cock crows, shadows are not to cast. And what was once declared by time, to me is now deaf, dumb, and blind. Despite our steady old tick-tock, nature knows no law or clock. 49. The sage speaks. Strange to the crowd, but of use to the crowd. I go my own way, under the sun, under cloud, but always above and beyond the same crowd. 50. Lost his head. She's had some brains ever since she was wed. Recently, she made a man lose his head. Before this diversion, with thoughts, he was right. His mind's gone to hell. No, no, to his wife. 51. Wishful thinking. May all the keys that still exist come to be misled, and for the empty keyholes, some brand new pick locks made. That's how every era talks, which find its goods at picking locks. It's good at picking locks. Let me read this again. 51. Wishful thinking. May all the keys that still exist come to be misled, and for the empty keyholes mislaid. Yeah. May all the keys that still exist come to be mislaid, and for the empty keyholes some brand new picklocks made. That's how every era talks, which find it's good at picking locks. 52. Writing with feet, pen in hand, all my writing begins. But my feet, they would like to join in. Running free, they are so fleet and so brave, crossing fields and crossing the page. 53. Human, all too human, a book. As long as you dwell on the past, you're filled with doubt and sorrow. As long as you trust in yourself, then you trust in tomorrow. Bird, do you belong? among the eagles taking flight? Or are you just Minerva's pet, spreading wings at fall of night? 54. My readers. May my readers be granted strong stomachs. May my readers be granted sharp teeth. If this book is the one they can stomach, then surely they can stomach me. 55. Realist painters. Be true to nature. That's how they began. How could one exhaust her in art made by man? The world's inexhaustible in every piece. All that they do is to paint what they please. And what gives them the pleasure? To paint what they can? Let me read this again. I think this one has some real, wisdom in this one. I think there was a, so 55. Realist painters. Be true to nature. That's how they began. How could one exhaust her in art made by man? The world's inexhaustible in every piece. All that they do is to paint with what they please. And what gives them pleasure? To paint what they can. 56. Poetic vanity. All I need is glue. I find I've got the wooden fragments, making sense from silly rhymes. It is no mean achievement. 57. Piggy taste. If I could pick my favorite spot, I think the place I would cultivate is in the midst of paradise. Or better still, outside the gate. 58. The broken nose. His nostrils always staring with scorn. This proud little man's rhino sans horn. He turns up his nose in the whole human race, and therefore he always falls flat on his face. Thus the one with one other invariably goes, an arrogant posture, an oft-broken nose. 59. The pen scribblers. The pen keeps scribbling, this is hell. To scribble, am I not condemned? I boldly reach for my inkwell and let the ink flow forth again. The quantity is considerable and everything goes brilliantly. But while it's not quite legible, who cares what I write? No one reads. 60th. A higher man. His climb towards the heights is justly acclaimed. The other he nobly descends. He has dispensed with the need for acclaim. The base he already transcends. 61. The skeptic speaks. Half of your life is now over. The hour hand moves you. Sorry. Half of your life is now over. The hour hand moves as you tremble with fear. Over the earth you have wandered, and though you found nothing, you still tarry here. Half of your life is now over. It was suffering and error, day in, day out. What more do you hope to discover? Just this, to know what the whole thing was about? 62. Ecce homo. Yes, I know from whence I came, an insatiable flame glowing and consuming me. Everything I touch burns brighter. All I leave are dying embers. Flame, I am, assuredly. 63. Star morals. To a star's path preordained, how could the darkness leave you pained? So pass right through this age in bliss, a stranger to its wretchedness, for the farthest would you shine. The sin of pity you abjure. Your sole commandment is to be pure. Wow, we finished the poems, and the next video I'm going to start with the book one. Well, I hope you enjoyed. I really, really loved reading all these poems, and it was really, I think, some of them are provoking, mind-opening, and beautiful.